chicka wah wah. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. I'm not doing an intro today. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Okay, let me pause that. Sounds like it's on. Huh. Is there no photo thing up there? Is my avatar not there? Let me try it that way. Is there an avatar there now? That's so weird. There it is. And then it changed, hopefully. Hey, Paige, how are you? Can y'all tell me if there's an avatar up there? Because it looks like it, but then it doesn't look like it. Let me go with that. Okay. Thank you, Haven. I appreciate you. I'm kind of whispering because I'm fighting a headache, so I don't plan on being long unless this Tylenol kicks in really good. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Lee Marie. Hey, Dixie Normus. Hope you're doing good. Hey, Lise. Thank you, mods. I know I'm trying to give mod readers as much time as possible. Thank you, Underlight. Angelo. Hey, Evil Alaska. Welcome. Hey, traders. Lily Rochelle. Texas girl said, I'll be back. I'll be here. I'm going to try not to be very long. I didn't look to see who was live or who was scheduling a live. I just wanted to knock this out. I've been sitting on it for a couple days trying to figure out how I wanted to approach it, and I'm just going to approach it head on. I talked to a couple people, got their opinion. I'm ready to go. Hey, TT, how are you? JBT, my favorite person. How are you? Hope you're doing good. I hope you got that last message I sent you too. Hey, Bugsy, I hope you're doing good. I tossed a wrench because I know there's some crazy going on. So just as a reminder, I like to have the least amount of wrenches as possible. I don't like it to feel like a club. I like people to feel welcome to chat. And sometimes when it's like a sea of blue, it's a little intimidating. But today, I don't want that. So let me know if I need to toss more. I see managing mods here that can handle the trolls and changing things up as needed. Run it, y'all. Hey, Lenny. Yesterday was 2-year anniversary of that terrible, tragic accident, but it's very pales in comparison to the September 11th that we all remember. I hope everybody took a few minutes to really think about how our country has changed since September 11th, 2001. And for those that were affected by that, my heart goes out to you. I hope that you found some peace and remembered to be kind to yourself yesterday. It's kind of what it's all about after the fact. Hard to face. However you did it was the right way. Hey, Rosie. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Hey, cracking asses. Beautiful Haven. How are you? I appreciate you guys popping in. I'm going to try to make this quick. I want you to know I do have pulled up and in my other ear the live manhunt from Fox 29 Philadelphia. And I'm kind of keeping an eye on that. So apparently there's some reverse 911 calls that just went out. Let me see if I can hear what else is going on real quick. I know some of you live in the area, so I'm keeping an eye on it for you. Hey, Earth. Good to see you. Tater, my other favorite human. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Hey, Glasshouse. So it looks like they're getting ready for some nighttime. Do you guys want to check in on it for a couple minutes before we get started on this other stuff, or do you want to go right to it? Hey, Lee. You let me know. It's up to you. The guy must be part crab. He must be something. Listen, I'm 5 foot tall. He's 5 foot tall. He's a few pounds heavier than I am, but I never lost a game of hide and seek. Let me tell you that. Never, ever, ever. I'm good at hide and seek. Hey, Paige, how are you? I have your live from yesterday. I think it was yesterday on my watch later list. Get caught up on that. Hey, Catlin. How are you? Hey, yep. Good to see you. Angelo. There's one on the side. Good. I don't know why it's weird. It's like updating, stuck in an update or something. Hey, stars. I may have to, after this, completely remove or completely turn off and update the MacBook. Hey, KB. Hey, Quiz. I love Alta. Ocean Tide. Glad you guys are here. This might be a message that some people don't like, but it's been on my heart for a couple days and something that other people have talked to me about in their interactions with other people on the platform. And it does kind of make me mad. It does kind of piss me off. So it's been clipped. And this isn't a hate stream. This isn't a choosing side stream. This isn't anything even really close to that. This is I would like to tell you what this sounds like from my side of the fence kind of thing. Hey, Roundhouse. That's all that this is. I still think Bombshell is a complete piece of trash and a scammer, and I don't really care what she's saying. This is about other stuff. Yep. Hey, Dr. J Banana. It's good to see you. Appreciate you popping in. We got our peen lover, Valerie, here. And you heard peen. Listen, if you say it 3 times, like a Beetlejuice, she appears. Valerie is our peen judge around here. If you have questions about peens, Valerie is your girl. Hey, Hippiporium. Cracking asses. The guy must be part crab. I'm telling you, I never lost. I can fit into places that most people can't. It's kind of funny. I hope that they catch him though. Now that I wanted him to be caught a long time ago. But I just hope nobody's hurt. I hope none of our law enforcement officials are hurt. I hope no civilians are hurt. I hope they peacefully catch him and stick him back in the hole where he belongs. Hey, Drew Texan. It's a little concerning to see people in chats rooting him on as if he didn't murder his ex in front of her 2 children. I think we should remember that. Hippiporium. Diz. I'll be at your place tonight. I'll be awake for that. Hey, True Texan. I love seeing you. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. So glad that you're here. Mons, if you need me to toss any more wrenches, please let me know. The last time that we talked about this, it got a little crazy. Hey, Truth Hurts. Be careful. Thanks for popping in. Hello, Tiny T. How are you? Rosie. Good to see you. If I said hello already. Sorry, I'm getting caught up as much as possible. I made a new... I was over hanging out at Crimes and Fashions earlier today. She cracks me the hell up. When she gets on one, she is on one. It's on one. Hey, Mazikeen, how are you? Hey, Joe Spring. I hope you guys are doing good. Look what I made today. I just put this together a little bit ago. I love making these. Diz kind of has me addicted to doing these. Check this one out.
Hi, Vilomah. How are you? Vilomah, you are so sweet. I swear. So, I don't trust anybody that doesn't like Vilomah. I mean that. It's like Vilomah, no, I don't trust you if you don't like Vilomah.
I love it. I love it. I love her. She's great. She's funny. She is on Betty's ass fly on shit, man. She is on it. She cracks me up. I love listening to her. She tells it like it is. She's pretty much putting it out there. For sure. I saw your question. What are we talking about? Haven't been in the streets in a while. Okay. Here's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about not being forced to sit or not being forced to be in a position or in a place that we're not willing to sit in. Like when people are having an all-out battle on the internet and it has nothing to do with you and you choose to coexist in peace. I feel like that should be an option. I feel like we don't all have to always pick sides. We don't have to agree, disagree, side with, become part of. We don't have to pick up the battle. We can respect both sides. We can agree to disagree. We can coexist and we can do it easily. We don't have to be forced into choosing sides. And there are people that want to push us or force us into choosing sides. So I want this to be very clear. Where there is a battle, an all-out battle that's been going on for a very long time, an entire community of people, they battle the way that they battle, right? So we don't all come from communities where doxing and going real life and all of those things happen. But there are communities that do that. Both sides do that. So I feel like I'm a grown ass woman. I've gone through some shit. I've stood in it. And I don't have to pick sides. I can respect the people that respect me. In this specific battle that we're going to talk about here for a little bit, one side is coming at me very hate filled, demanding that I don't engage with the people that they have an argument with, the people that they don't like with. One side is straight up telling me that by not choosing sides or allowing the people that they don't like in my chat or on my panel, that makes me a supporter of what they do. And that's not true. I have the right and the ability to set boundaries, to say, I understand that in your community, this is something that you do. Both sides. One side agrees. They'll stand up and be like, yep, I did that shit. I did that. Traders is someone who will stand up and say, I freaking did it. Don't blame so and so. Don't blame that person. I did it. I've seen her jump on a panel full of people, hundreds of people in the chat, and be like, no, that was me. I want credit for it. And the other side says, no, I never do that, even though we have an example of that just last week having been done against our beloved AB, who we all love. We love AB. So after my stream, the last stream that I had, which was absolutely not attacking anybody, it was saying, you can no longer say that you don't go real life when you not only threatened it on AB, but you encouraged other people to do that. My opinion, you don't have to agree with me. No one has to agree with me. But here's what I'm tired of. I have some clips I want to show you, some commentary that I'd like to give on that. I'd like for you to see what it's like to be in the middle of a situation where you don't want to be there. And that by being forced into choosing sides, the person who's forcing you to choose sides isn't going to be happy with this election. I don't like the weapons of choice. I don't like the language being used. And I feel almost like it's an emotional manipulation. But you have the right to have the opinion that you have. I respect everyone's opinions. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'd like to show you that. Hey, Texas girl. Hey, Earth. I got your message. I'll reply back after this is over. Hey, Mystical Magnolia. Welcome in. Good to see you. Quiz says, if someone tries to push me into taking sides, the more I rebel against it or just take myself out the situation. Yes, absolutely. I'm a grown woman. I'll do me. Here's my thing. Like, if I tell somebody, like, hey, I understand that the community that you come from and, you know, the things that you guys do, I just don't want that here. And they respect those boundaries and they don't bring it here. Why should I tell them that they have to leave? Why? Why should I say, you can't be here? Because all of this whole community, all of those communities, both sides of that specific genre or place, they all do it. So my stance is, if I'm going to be mad at one side, don't we have to be mad at the other side because they're all doing it? As much as you say that you're not doing it, you're doing it. The proof is there. Thank you, Lee, for dropping that. I agree with you. I'm also going to say this. The more somebody puts demands on what I allow in my space, the more I want to rebel against that. Telling me that I can't have somebody on my panel makes me want to plant them here. I know it's kind of childish, which is why I don't act or react in emotion. I kind of take a step back, journal it out, think through it, become more rational about it. But there's a couple of things that really have pissed me off lately. Hey, Sweet Tea. Hey, Stellar. So let me screen share here. Have an update quick on Manhunt. They're getting in position for nightfall. If I see anything come across the screen, I'll screen share that real quick for you. Forward for life. I hope I got that right. Welcome. Good to see you. Page says, The thing is, no one has the right to tell anyone what they can and can't do. Absolutely. But let me ask you this, though. If I knew how to do these little poll things, I would. Let me ask you this. How does it make you feel when someone tells you that you're responsible for someone else's actions? That you don't have the right to say, I'm not responsible for and I can't control the actions of other people. What's wrong with being able to say, none of that stuff has ever been directed at me. I choose peace and to coexist. If I can coexist on a platform with the bum, I can coexist with anybody. And so the question was asked of me, how do we do that? How do we do that? How do we do that? So the person I'm kind of talking about is Constant Sue, who up until now I've never had any kind of an issue with, really. I didn't like being accused of taking one for the team, but her opinion. But this battle that Connie has going, so I stood up and said, hey, you can't say that you don't go real life when you clearly went real life. When you encouraged other people to go real life against somebody that I happen to care a whole lot about, AB. Don't agree with it. Makes you not credible anymore. When it comes right down to it, it makes you not credible at all. So we're at one point in time, I watched her clips and so remember before, whenever I've talked about people who clip because they're showing bad behaviors and other people who clip because they want to be right. I'm kind of seeing now that maybe that's been the goal all along, to be correct, to be right, to have people say you're right. Because when I see somebody who's been standing up against something for so long, when I see her doing the exact same thing that she's fighting against, it makes me wonder, maybe you've been clipping to be right the whole time. I still don't choose sides. I set boundaries. And as long as people respect those, I have no fight with them. I don't have a fight with them if they don't respect those. I just block them because it's pretty simple to do. No one's forced to sit next to you and hold hands with somebody that they don't like. You have a block button. But I've recently had this new situation pop up, and I'd like to share it with you. And I'd like for you to tell me, if you were in my shoes, would you feel the way I feel about it? Do you see this the same way that I see this? I'll drop a link in a little bit for anybody that would like to have conversation about this. Please know I don't come with hate or anger. I come with, in all seriousness, setting boundaries. This is me setting boundaries and making sure that those boundaries are clear. So these clips come, if you look at the description down below this video, I've got it all put in here already. I want to read it to you. Thank you, traders. I appreciate you. It says, I won't be forced into a place or position where I don't choose to be. I won't be issued ultimatums or demands. Manipulation is a red flag. I can only be held accountable for my actions and reactions. I'm not responsible for the actions or reactions of others. I can choose to coexist by setting boundaries and making them clear. I will see both sides of a situation and make my own opinions and do what's best for myself. I encourage everyone to do that. Hey, Jennifer P. Hello, Kennedy. I'm open for conversation when people are willing to listen as much as they want to be heard. Here's an important note. Hey, Julie. Respectfully speaking, I am more than the woman whose son died. I am more than my grief. I am capable of and encouraging of conversations. I'm even capable of laughter and joy within the grief that I'm forced to carry. Please stop using grief and child loss in conversations or interactions with me that have nothing to do with grief or child loss, and especially when you're right fighting. Hey, Pearl DeVere. Hello, Eliza. The links that I have, I would like to explain first. So anyone that I'm mentioning today, I have linked below. So Constant Sue still has something to say channel is linked. The video that I took these clips from are linked. The video that I took these clips from are an interaction with myself in the chat. Me chatting respectfully and her responding to those chats. Nicolina777, because Nicolina is always the topic of discussion when it comes to Constance. The recent fight, Constance trying to force me into a place that I don't want to be. I don't dislike people because of their interactions with someone else. So everyone knows that Connie and Nicolina have an ongoing issue for a long time. Up until now, it's never involved me. The only reason it involves me now is because Connie is demanding that I see this fight the same way she sees this fight, and that I react and respond the way that she wants me to react and respond. And by not doing that, she had some things to say. AB's channel is linked because I love AB, and because for me, this began when someone says that they don't go real life and that their whole fight on this platform is against somebody who goes real life, and then here they are doing it or participating in it. I'm not okay with that. For people that are like, everyone has done something. I have never doxed a person on this platform ever. Never. I've never went real life on a person on this platform ever. As much as I don't like the bum, I've never done anything like that. AB's world famous moisturizing pain balm and delicious can of cookies, seeds, lip balms. Email him step-by-step exploring videos at gmail.com. It's also in the description below. I've also linked where you can get an article about the word Vilomah and how hard we worked to establish an identity, why that's important. I've also linked down below the link directly to the Mean Girls merch shop. Let me explain why. Because the Safe Haven baby boxes are very important to me. It's an organization that I've recently started communicating with, setting up the legalities on my end in order to solely contribute, donate to, and be affiliated with that organization. When that happens, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I never spoke to Nicolina until one day she asked me about the Safe Haven baby boxes, not because she wanted to fight, okay, but because the Mean Girls wanted to donate their proceeds to the Safe Haven Baby Box organization. Here we are today because of that interaction. Because Nicolina came on the panel and we talked about the Safe Haven baby boxes, because I gave my opinion that Nicolina didn't come into any of these communities doing the things that she does today. People have opinions about myself. I'm okay with that. The Safe Haven Baby Box website is linked down below. Their 501c3 EIN number for donations, ways to donate, different ways to support, medical bassinets, medical kits for each baby box. There's an Amazon wish list. There's a memorial fund for Ataya Lasser, who was 14 years old, killed in a car accident in 2018. Her story is down below. There's a lot of information down below, so I wanted to take a minute to let you know that there's a lot down there. And so after this, I would greatly appreciate it if you would maybe read through there, click on some of those links, and maybe learn why this organization is so important to me. Hey, Rockabit Jay, how are you? See if anybody came in. I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday, wherever you are. Hey, Sweet Tea, just pulled in the driveway. I'm glad you got home safe. And Nick didn't ask because she was trying to love bomb. That's very clear because it was a very quick conversation in another chat, not my chat, not her chat, somewhere else. And yeah, so she had a genuine question. I sent her via email the information, and the donation was made, and then I found out about it. For the record, I don't owe anyone an explanation about who I talked to or why. I just don't like the accusations. But I understand people, you know, when someone is that desperate to create an atmosphere of hate towards another person, I get the methods. Like I dealt with the bum. She's one of the worst here, in my opinion. As much as Connie dislikes Nicolina, I dislike the bum. I guess we just handle that dislike for another person very differently. What does that mean? Peak male physical appearance. Peace sign is ancient death rune. Revoke your love for Satan and choose Jesus. How about go away? That's weird. We don't talk about things like that here. Take that somewhere else. How about that? Come on, don't be a weirdo. We can do weirdo stuff later. We don't have to do it here now. Feel a bit dumb, you don't want a baby back. Says, after this, I can show you for sure. After we go through this clip, a couple of clips. Yeah, I can do that. Right, I don't. I do not. As a community, we decided to ghost, and that so far is working. It prevents a hatred from building up. I mean, you can't control other people. You can only control your action reaction. So it's about putting your truth out there. Those that are willing to see it will see it and hear it and then make their own decisions. It's not about beating your truth into someone else's brain or force feeding them your opinion. We can't do that. It's not possible. This isn't a dictatorship on this platform. Nobody, hey, Wee Frosty, nobody has the right to demand things of you that you're not willing to give or be. And so I choose what's important to me. I choose those fights. I'm not going to sit and pick up a battle that somebody wants me to be a part of because I'm a grieving mother. And quite frankly, it pisses me off that that's thrown in my face. That because somebody knows a couple of other grieving parents, that I should feel the way that they want me to feel. I don't know the details. And I don't want to know them. I can't carry the burdens of all the people and the grieving parents. I can't do that. I carry mine. Feel like I sold out. Can you tell me what I sold out from? Because if that's the case, I guess we should go back a few weeks and tell the story about being told that I was a liar and that I took one for the team when that's not true in any capacity. My way of dealing with that was to just no longer communicate. So there's that. What would I have sold out for? Weird. So before we start, everyone knows. If you don't, I guess you will. August 12th, 2016 is when my son passed away. This platform for me is more than just talking about grief. This is a social media. I socialize here. I can have conversations about all kinds of things that don't involve grief or the death of my son. I want to let you know that right off the bat, there's a person on Connie's panel that's crying. I have not the person who was on the panel crying, I could not remove from the clip. I could only turn the background down a little bit. Still going to hear it. I don't know anything about the person. I don't know their story. And I didn't include their avatar. So if you do know, please don't say any names in the chat. I don't want to bring attention to anybody who may be going through something really rough. But I didn't know that the person was having a really bad day until after I typed in the chat. And so as much as Connie might think I'm rude or a terrible human being or all of those things because people in my chat that she doesn't like, I think it's kind of shitty that somebody's having what sounds like a complete meltdown on their panel and you want to go back and forth with me in the chat because I asked for a conversation. You'll see how that ended. Yeah, Paige Noel. Not commonality with her, but commonality that she chooses to battle with. See, I don't let anyone use my loss as their weapon, not against me and not for me. So the manipulation, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. Yeah, lessons are everywhere. Absolutely. Thank you, Eliza. This platform is yours and can be about whatever you want it to be. That's right. I've met some amazing people here. I choose to focus on the good, the happy, the positive. Occasionally, you have to address some of the negative. But if you focus on the happy and the positive, that's kind of what it begins. That's what it begins to become about for you. If you're only focusing on the negative and the ugly, then that's kind of where you're forced to sit. So I'm going to hit play. Hey, there's Shannon681. How are you, beautiful? Isn't worth a conversation, right? I'm not trying to make her relevant. I'm trying to show she's becoming what she's been fighting against, and that something shouldn't be used as manipulation tactics. But hey, thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. I was there the same time you were. Actually, I left right after you did when I got blocked too. Black happy people.
And so, and Vilomah deals with grieving mother, grieving parents. That's why it just makes me sick to know what she's done and have Vilomah sitting up there saying, "Hey, girl, hey." It's fucking disgusting. Do I not provide enough receipts to show you what Nicolina is doing? And you support Nicolina. And you want to.
So I left a comment in the chat that said, standing up and taking on a battle shouldn't include going real life, referring to the threats against AB's business. Isn't that what everyone is against? Can't people choose no battle? Because that's my choice. Like, I have my own battles. I have my own people that I don't like. I'm not trying to make that list grow longer.
You want to come over here and say, can't people choose no battle? Okay, I can choose no battle. I'm not in a battle. I am over here trying my best to show is not acceptable. You, on the other hand, are over there welcoming with open arms. Oh, she's getting baby. She's helping the baby, which is great, baby.
Thank you to the Mean Girls for their recent donation to the Safe Haven Baby Box organization. I couldn't be more happy and proud. You'd have no idea how much it means. Thank you.
But Vilomah, you support everything. Now, when I say you support everything Nick does, you're going to say, I can only control me.
Yes, because that's true. I can only control myself. That's it. That's all. I can only control myself. I've had one conversation with Nicolina, and it was about Safe Haven Baby Boxes when she was on my panel, and a moment in a chat when she gave me her email and asked for the information. But yes, I can only control myself. I can't control other people. I can't control anyone else. You can't control anyone else. I can only control me, like you can only control you. So if I were to try to control other people, I would end up sounding and looking and acting like Connie, trying to control a group of people that she doesn't like. But yeah, I can only control me.
No, she's in your chat. You know how toxic she is. I show you how toxic she is. It should be as simple as, I seen what you do. You're not welcome here.
Well, Connie, you're pretty toxic yourself today. I came into your chat to have a conversation with you, and it was very ugly. It was very, very ugly. There's no having a conversation with you because you want a dictatorship, and I'm not willing to participate in that. There's a lot of toxicity on the internet. If nobody brings it to my front door, I don't have to wade through it. I don't have to. I choose not to. I choose to ghost out or stay away from the people that bring me to the point of anger. And I would strongly suggest that you do the same thing because you yourself have become a very toxic person in a toxic place in your effort and attempt to be correct.
Period. And that's why, in my opinion, of course, and Vilomah, I'll say this. You said, show you how you support Nicolina, and just because she's in your chat, I'm showing you right now.
Okay, so I would like to play that again. I had typed in the chat, show me how I'm supporting Nicolina.
Show you how you support Nicolina, and just because she's in your chat, I'm showing you right now.
Hey, Melissa Hart. Hey, Wee Frosty. Hey, 50 Shades.
I'm showing you with all the shit I do that she shouldn't be allowed in your chat. There is no coexisting with somebody this bad. I guess you people don't understand. Maybe you're not watching my clips. Maybe you think I'm just hyper focused, but I challenge you. Watch my clips. Vilomah.
So I'm not going to watch the clips because I'm not going to participate in the back and forth. I'm not going to do it. There's been none of that brought to me because I don't participate in it. That's number one. Number two, I don't think that your clips are clipped in order to show bad behavior. I think that your clips are clipped to be correct, to show that you are correct and that everybody else is wrong. And so that makes it you're fighting to be right, not fighting for a cause or for a reason. And yes, chat, there's someone on the panel who was crying. I did not know that when I typed in the chat first. And so that was very difficult to listen to. I tried to minimize the background noise as much as possible. From the Sanskrit language, the word Vilomah means against the natural order. After years of petitions, the word Vilomah now gives back identity that was once lost to parents when they lost their child. The word Vilomah also means grieving parent.
The word Vilomah, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it means that you're left without a child. Vilomah lost her son, and her channel is for trauma. She has a very good channel for trauma. If somebody could get the link real quick, because she is absolutely amazing. But quick, because
So I typed out, I'm not equipped to handle any kind of trauma outside of grieving the loss of a child. I say should be left to the experts. I wish I could help in some way, but I'm not capable of that type of trauma. I want that to be clear.
She is absolutely amazing. But when I see Nicolina on her panel, if I'm sorry. You all can make fun of me. You can laugh at me and say I'm trying to control shit. If I see her on your panel, I see her in your chat, and if I see anybody being cordial to her, I question you because of this right here.
So you question me because I'm cordial to somebody or because I'm friendly to somebody. No, she's not crying about me. Apparently, it was a conversation that was being had about some type of assault. I don't even talk about that stuff here because I have no, that's way outside of my comfort level for public conversation, even private conversation. Yeah. So from what I understand, prior to me getting there was a conversation about that. I'm assuming that that's what the crying was about, but I can't even say that that's a true answer because I don't know. I wasn't there beforehand. So let me play this part again.
But when I see Nicolina,
she thinks I'm a great person until she sees somebody in my chat. I don't know, B10, why that's her avatar. I don't know. I cut the other person out because I didn't want to bring attention or anything like that. Okay, Michael. Yeah. After this, you can ask me whatever questions you'd like.
Lost her son, and her channel is for trauma. She has a very good channel for trauma. If somebody could get the link real quick,
Exactly, KB.
because she is absolutely amazing. But when I see Nicolina on her panel, if I'm sorry. You all can make fun of me. You can laugh at me and say I'm trying to control shit. If I see her on your panel, I see her in your chat, and if I see anybody being cordial to her, I question you because of this right here. It's so toxic, Vilomah. She either has to change or she has to go. And if YouTube won't do anything about it, and the law won't do anything about it, we have to take a stand. We have to say, we're not going to accept this anymore. That means you're not in my chat. You're not on my panel. I don't want to talk to you. And it's just that simple.
So I don't think it's that simple. There are people that I do not like on this platform. A couple of them I've actually spoke out about and said, this is why I don't like them. I just avoid them. If I don't like them, I avoid them. I don't go to chats where they're flowing through the chat. If they're on the panel and they're having conversation that I don't agree with or that's offensive to me, then I click out. I block them in chats. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I do respect your opinion. I do respect your opinion. I do not accept your demands.
Now, if you want to let her on your panel and in your chat, that's fine. You could go ahead and do it. But what I'm saying is, how about we tell Nicolina, until you get some fucking sense about you, you log off.
So it's not my job to police other people. We're all adults. We're all adults on this platform. There's one person that has been absolutely disgusting towards me, to me, done some real life stuff. I just avoid them. I report what I need to report and I avoid them. If I'm not engaging in the back and forth, it kind of stops. If it becomes part of my personal life where my personal life is being attacked, then legally I do what I have to protect myself. But it's not my job to tell another grown ass adult on this platform how to act, behave, or be. I don't know the things that have been done to them, let alone what they're doing to other people. There's two sides to every story, and nobody gets to come in to someone else's space and make demands like that. That's not how it works. Social media, it's a big enough place for everybody. Sometimes being the better person and the bigger person and setting the good example would be to not engage with the people that you don't like and setting an example for the people that you do like by not doing what you're claiming you don't do, but you did do. How can you sit and say that this other group of people are terrible and that you're right when you're doing the same thing? Maybe you don't hear the hostility and the hatred coming from you, the demands that are coming from you, but they're completely unrealistic for any other adult on the platform. You don't get to decide who people are friendly to, who's allowed in other people's chats, and who's allowed to be on other people's panels. And if by someone that you don't like being in my chat makes me someone that you don't like, that's a you problem. You're the one that is restricting yourself from interacting with other people because your hatred for a group of people has taken over your ability to be friendly with anyone. If you haven't figured out yet, running around from chat to chat, panel to panel, screaming demands of other people's space isn't getting you anywhere. No one is going to sit down and be like, yeah, we agree. I didn't do that except for my father. My father could tell me who I could be friends with, but no one else is going to do that. So basically, believe what I believe, hate who I hate, or you're a shit person. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. And when that didn't work, then it became grief and child loss. And I felt like it was a method of manipulation. You'll hear another example, maybe two. I forget how many I clipped in one. But child loss and grief doesn't have to come up in every conversation.
Why should we have to coexist with Nicolina? How do you coexist with this? How do we coexist with this, Vilomah? What's your suggestion?
So my suggestion is by making it clear, making your boundaries and what you're willing to accept clear. And so far, it's worked for me. It's worked for me. Nobody comes into my chat and does the real life doxing crap without immediately being blocked. No one comes on my panel and does the real life or the doxing or any of those things because, listen, as much as you want me to believe that the people that you don't like are terrible, vile, toxic, horrible human beings, they respect my boundaries. And you don't. You're demanding of me what I'm not willing to give you. They have demanded nothing of me. Absolutely nothing. All of those things that you don't like about them have never been brought to my space or my channel. So why should I dislike them? Because you dislike them. That's not reasonable. That's an unreasonable demand or expectation. It's very unreasonable. And when you put people in that situation, they're going to not want to deal with you. Good question, L. Kennedy.
I want to comment on Stacy's. She said, "Now, crazy Vilomah just got done with."
So you want me to respect your opinions and to consider you a credible person when your mods are flowing through your chat calling me crazy Vilomah? I was never disrespectful in your chat. I was never demanding. I name called 0 times. I only asked you for a conversation. I asked if you could have a conversation. And then I felt terribly guilty because someone was having a complete meltdown on your panel. You let your mods call me crazy Vilomah, but I'm supposed to think that you're not toxic or that you're not part of the problem that you're fighting against by calling. I'm not crazy. I wasn't the crazy person in your chat. You did the same thing to Shannon. You completely cussed Shannon out. That's kind of crazy.
I want to comment on Stacy's. She said, now, crazy Vilomah just got done with a live exposing me and Easy.
Hey, Nicolina. Hey, Green. So to be clear, you can go back and watch that last live stream that was about nothing more than AB's business, his personal life, his personal business being used as another real life weapon against him because Connie didn't like his review of her behaviors on another panel. She admitted in that same stream, I clipped it, that he probably would change his mind later, but he was critical of her behavior, demanding 2 minutes and this and that and overtaking a panel and all this stuff. Same things everybody else is saying. And so then people were threatening to look into, however you want to word it, AB's business, at which point I clipped it. You can go and listen to it. Connie said, well, he advertises it on YouTube, so it's fair game, right? No, it's not fair game. It's not. And as much as I want to like Connie, I don't like the demands being placed upon me. I don't have to pick sides. I can't. If I can coexist on this platform with Bumshell, I can coexist with anybody. So her chat goes in and tells her that I just exposed her. There's nothing to expose, Connie. For your information, everybody knows because you go from panel to panel screaming about the same things. So there's nothing to expose. I spoke out about using AB's business. I spoke out about you saying that it was fair game and that was wrong and that you don't have the right to accuse other people of going real life when you're doing it yourself. That's what I said. It's still there. I actually dropped a link in your chat right before I was blocked, but you know how that turned out. Hey, Johnson. But Matt, that was what my stream was about. Her chat's telling her one thing. Whether she watched it or not, I don't know. Don't really care at this point. I was blocked. It is what it is. But going real life is going real life. And you lose a lot of credibility when now you decide that there's levels to real life. One real life action should be taken more serious than another. That's insanity. And again, an example of you fighting very hard and demanding to be right when it's all wrong.
Then Vilomah said, I don't keep up with all the stuff done by them or being done to them because I'm not involved. I don't go around throwing anger at people who support Bum. It's not fair to make that order. Well, but you just got done off of a live exposing me. Vilomah, here, let me show you. This is exactly why I did this live today, because I'm sick of those excuses. I don't keep up with their drama. Well, Vilomah, let me show you just a sample.
So Connie continued to show clips of proving herself to be right. She scrolled through.
What frustrated the most is when people come at you and say, like, I think, Vilomah, you think I'm credible. If I say she's toxic, you won't say, hey, what do you mean toxic? Let me show you, Vilomah. And she said that her grief specialty is with grieving parents, not SA. So I need to correct that too.
So here's my complaint. When you're demanding that I not let the people that you don't like in my chat, or that I don't let them on my panel to talk about Safe Haven baby boxes, where, by the way, the Mean Girls made a donation in support of the organization, directly to the organization, the proceeds from their merch shop, which is an amazing thing. Anybody who does that is a hero in my eyes. Anybody who donates to an organization like Safe Haven baby boxes, I adore them. If I can set boundaries with people and say, listen, I understand that the community that you come from, that you guys do this kind of stuff, but can you please not bring it here? And they've never done that. So I have no reason to tell people who are being kind and generous. I have no reason to tell them that they can't be here. Why would I do that? Maybe setting an example that you can have conversations with people And when it gets to the point that you can no longer have a conversation with people like you, Connie, because you are talking to be heard, but not willing to listen to understand. I hear you on panels. You're not listening and taking in what someone is saying. You're listening, waiting for the pause so that you can jump in and overtake. That's not communication. Communication is being able to hear and understand as much as you want to be understood. Where you go next, you have no right to go. When I tell you that my interactions with these people are not the same as yours, I don't approach them the way that you do. I'm not involved in the stuff that you're involved with. Therefore, my experience and my interactions are completely different. You don't get to tell me who I can be friends with or not be friends with. I have watched some of your clips, but to be honest with you, when it got to the point that you became obsessed, in my opinion, you became obsessed with other people agreeing with you, I stopped because that's not a clip channel anymore. A clip channel shows behaviors, they show patterns. You may think that you're doing that, but you're not. You're showing that you're right. And I know that's true also because other people are using those same clips, saying the exact same things that you've been saying for a long time. But here you are threatening to go real life. Here you are throwing hatred. Here you are in one conversation, at me asking you for a conversation turns into you bringing up my deceased child. That's wrong. That's wrong. To me, that's a manipulation tactic that when I don't agree with you, when I don't agree to hate the people that you want me to hate, when I don't agree to pick up the sword and go to battle with you towards people that have been kind to me, that have been nothing but kind to me, that have never brought that shit to my panel or to my chat in any capacity, not even in a troll account. They have never done that. You want me to hate them because you hate them. It's not okay. So what happens next? Another attempt at preying on the emotions by bringing up my son and referencing my grief to two people who I don't know that you chose to use as a battle against these people. See, listen, if somebody tried to use my grief or my child loss as a weapon in any capacity, I'm not okay with that. That is why I speak out about other people trying to use other YouTubers' deceased children's death records and autopsy photos. If I'm not okay, it doesn't matter if you're trying to prove a point that I agree with or disagree with. Bringing up my son is not okay. It's just not.
But as a woman who deals with grieving mothers, I'll give you two examples of something that should be so toxic that you would not allow her in your chat.
Okay, she says, I'm going to give you an example of, she said, as a grieving mother, I'm going to give you two examples for why you should not allow her in your chat. Look, I don't know these people. I don't know their stories. I will sit down in the trench with any grieving parent, regardless of what they've gone through, but I will never use their grief as a weapon. You have a person on your panel right now crying, having a meltdown, and you're going at me in the chat. And when I don't agree with you, the third time that you bring up being a grieving mother, it's not okay, Connie. We can talk about behaviors. I can agree to disagree with people and still have respect for them. I can still respect them. Now it says here, her examples are not included because, like what I just said, I will not use other people's grief as a weapon. Neither will I speak about it. So the examples that she gave involve other people losing their children. And I cut that out. Those are the examples that are not included. I should have worded it better. But she scrolled through her videos and pointed to the videos that she thought I should watch because it involves grieving parents. I'm more than a grieving parent, Connie. I am capable of being more, doing more, and seeing more than grief. I find joy in every day. I find something positive every day. It's not just about being a grieving parent. I didn't have a choice to be a grieving parent, but I do have a choice to find joy, to get up in the bad times, and to move forward. And I don't appreciate having these things thrown in my face in a form of manipulation. It's not okay to do.
Now, if I never show you any other videos, Vilomah, that right there to me would be enough for you to say, I don't even want her in my chat.
So, based on your examples of people that I do not know, do you know how many people out there have lost children that are not good people? I'm willing to sit with them in their grief, but I'm not willing to sit with them in their bad behaviors. That's why I don't run around the platform rounding up all the grieving parents. I don't need it thrown in my face. I don't need it brought into conversations that have nothing to do with grief or child loss. And I will never use somebody else's grief as a weapon, not from child loss or any other loss. It's not okay. It's not okay.
But let me show you this right here, Vilomah. You see this? All these videos? Do you think all these videos I made for my health? Did you check out any of these videos?
No.
I challenge you, Vilomah.
No.
Tiny, stop it. I challenge you.
No, I'm not going to do that because I no longer think that you're clipping to show bad behavior. I think you're clipping to win the battle, which means you're clipping to be a right fighter, RIGHT, to be correct. Everybody on this platform has bad behaviors, but if they don't bring it to me or direct it at me, I kind of stand back and watch. I kind of sit back and watch. Just because someone is in my chat or because someone comes up on the panel and we talk about safe haven baby boxes, I'm not quite sure why you're so offended by that. See, you followed Nicolina to the chat. Nicolina come into the chat. Actually, Ghost and I were having a conversation about something completely different. Nicolina wanted information about baby boxes. You followed her into the chat. You brought the battle to my chat. Nicolina did not. But here you are demanding that Nicolina brought it in. She did not. Your name was never mentioned. It was never mentioned. The fight was never mentioned. Nicolina wanted information about safe haven baby boxes. And you know what? The donation was made. I couldn't be more appreciative of that. Maybe they're changing, Connie. Maybe they've realized that not everybody is going to be accepting of the real life stuff. Maybe they're trying really hard to be better and you're preventing that. Just a thought.
She said, my chat isn't exactly well, but I'm willing to hear a conversation, which is what I hope to have with you. Vilomah, I'm rushed right now.
Hey, Peachy. Hey, Sheila. So when I asked, this whole time I'm in the chat asking for conversation. And when I said, listen, I came to talk to you, not your chat, because the moderators in the chat were just being very ugly. I understand that there's a lot of right fighting that goes on. I didn't take it personal. But when I directly asked her for conversation, she didn't have time. She said she was rushed. I do find it quite ironic, though, that 15, 20 minutes later, she was on another panel and in another chat demanding the same, 2 minutes to be heard saying the same thing over and over. It was kind of weird to me, but
to have with you. Vilomah, I'm rushed right now. And you know why it's not welcoming? Because we just sat here and we've heard, we already knew what she done. We're pissed off. Vilomah, we are pissed the fuck off.
So when the grief didn't work, when relaying the messages of other grieving parents didn't work, listen to the anger that comes from Connie. This is very sad. It's very sad that because I disagree with her demands of my space, this is what it turns into. This was very sad.
So excuse us for not being welcoming with wine and roses because we're fucking pissed off. We've had it. We're sick of it. We don't know what else. We don't know what else to fucking do. She doesn't stop. It's disgusting. I mean, we're sick of it. We are not to be friendly. We're fucking sick of it. And especially when we see people over there, laughing it up with her, and welcome into the chat. We're fucking sick of it.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Lenny. So I typed in the chat, there's never been any doxing. I worded that incorrectly. I was getting aggravated and so wasn't very correct in my English, but I said there's never been any doxing done on my channel. There's never been any doxing over here in this space by the people that she's fighting so hard to prove are terrible people. They've never brought it to me, ever. Have they done it other places? They admit to it. They admit to it. These group of women will say, yes, I did that. It's more than I can say for the majority of the people on the platform that do the real life stuff. But here's my thing. All of them in that community do it. I don't understand why there's so much hatred being shown towards one group of people who admit that they do it when they all do it. I have the right to say, I'm not doing it. Please don't bring it here. And for the people that I'm told are just the worst on the platform, I have been able to effectively set those boundaries and be heard because it's never been brought here. There's never been anything but respect brought here, conversation brought here, which is more than I can say for trying to have conversation with Connie, who she didn't have time for. 20 minutes later, she was on a panel spewing the same hatred against the same people to a larger audience. I take that for what it's worth. But there's never been any of that brought here. I can only control myself, my actions, my reactions, and what I'm willing to allow in the space that I'm responsible for. That's it.
It doesn't have to be done on your channel. It doesn't have to be done on your channel.
So for all of those, I finally got an answer earlier when I said, show me how I'm supporting the people that you don't like. Show me how I'm doing that. First, she said, I'm showing you with all of these clips. I'm showing you why she should not be allowed in your chat, but you didn't show me. You showed me your opinion. So here's her answer. And I hope that everybody stops chatting and listens to the answer because it's pretty telling.
It doesn't have to be done on your channel. It doesn't have to be done on your channel. This kind of person, here's the goal. Here's my goal. Ghost her. Freeze her the fuck out. That's what I'm fucking trying to do. I agree. People that are so fucking toxic, like.
So I'd like to say here that this is a post made by somebody from a different community talking about two people. Nicolina's name is not in this post. Connie pulled it up on her screen and inserted Nicolina's name. Now, I want to be clear. This post was made to those of us that have been showing receipts on another creator, another channel, another person who's a known scammer. This post, there were people tagged in this post. That's who this post was to. This was someone saying, I think the best thing for us to do would be to ghost the person. Let's ghost them. Let's ghost them and exile them. This had nothing to do with the fight between Connie and the people that she doesn't like, but she made it about that. Nicolina's name is nowhere in this post. I enlarged it so everybody could see that this post had nothing to do with Nicolina. Connie made it about Nicolina. So I want people to know her name was not typed in this.
That's what I'm fucking trying to do. I agree. People that are so fucking toxic, like Bombshell or Michelle, and Nicolina, absolutely need to be exiled and ghosted. We fucking agree. Imagine that.
Hey, Uber Goober. Maybe that's some really good advice that you should take for yourself. I would encourage for you to ghost the people that you hate so much. You've put all of the behaviors that you think are terrible and toxic and wrong. You've put all of those out there for people to see. They're going to see them or they're not. The same thing happened with Bum. We put all of that information out there. People see it and they see it or they don't. You can't force somebody to see what you want them to see. You can't force somebody to agree that you're right or that you're wrong. You can't force anybody to be in a space that they're not willing to be. You can't force them. So if this is taking over your everyday life, and it appears to be, because every day it's the same content being replayed over and over about the same behaviors of the same people that you think are so terrible. I've never heard you admit to any of your wrongdoing, ever. And I would strongly encourage you to take that same advice, to just disengage, back away, ignore, ghost. Ghost them. Maybe be the example for people that are watching you. I came into your chat very respectful, and it turned into a shit show. Maybe ghost them out and take your own advice.
Well, there's so much hate over here. Come and on another day you can, Vilomah. How the fuck can you expect us to be happy? You want us to be happy? Here, let me change it. I'll be happy.
I was very respectful in an attempt to have conversation with Connie, regardless that her chat was not. I don't appreciate child loss and grief being used against me in order to make me believe exactly how you believe. Don't worry about unblocking me, though. I won't be going back. I stand by that. I'm willing to have conversation with anybody that's willing to hear me as equally as they want me to hear them. But when it's a dictatorship, when it's direct orders, when it's thrown in my face 10 different ways that I should feel a certain way because of things that I've gone through in my real life, it's not okay. Maybe you don't realize that you're doing it, and I can understand that, but you did. It doesn't change that you did do that. Now, I've made it very clear that there's behaviors on both sides that I want nothing to do with. I've made it very clear that on both sides of the fence, I've not been willing to sit in the actions at all. And that's why nobody brings it here. No one disrespects what I've asked or demanded of the space that I have control in. If they have, I would have no problem blocking, because I'm responsible for just this space, for just the people that I allow around me. Connie, for the record, all of us that have channels have been hurt in one way or another, or various ways. All of us have. So I've heard you say multiple times that up until whatever date you gave, when you first picked up this battle with Nicolina, she had never done anything to you. You didn't like what she was doing to other people. Hey, Internet FBI. Hey, Tragedy Pimps. My battles have been with people that have directly affected my real life, that have directly came at me sideways over some shit in defense of the truth coming out on them. There was a group of people, and we all band together because we all had the shared similar, very, very similar experiences with this person. We all put the receipts out. Again, people see them or they don't. I'm not running around trying to force my opinions or my beliefs or my truth on people that are not going to see, that they're not going to see them. I just avoid those people. It doesn't have to be an everyday battle. It doesn't have to be every day trying to force feed opinions down other people's throats. And I'm sorry that you feel that I sold out. I didn't sell out to anybody. If Michael's still here, can you please type your question out? Be happy to answer it. I scrolled back up to try to find it, and I couldn't find it. I think that you gave really good advice to yourself, but I'm not sure if you're willing to ever hear it. Hey, Dr. J Banana, JP Fluff. But I think ghosting somebody, maybe try that, because what you're doing is clearly not working. Clearly not working. I unsubscribed. I'm not telling anybody to do that. Everybody support, go where you want to go, support who you want to support, be where you want to be. Nobody has the right to tell you that. Hey, KK. Just like nobody has the right to tell me where to go, who to like, who not to like. I can associate with who I want to. I can be friends with who I want to. I can support who I want to. And I don't owe people answers for that, except for those who believe in me. Anyone can question. I mean, anyone can ask me any questions. I'm okay with that. Hey, palettes. Right. Ghosting, I mean, when you stop engaging, you don't give the other side a fight anymore. If you're fighting to be correct, it's probably never going to happen. There's always going to be people that are going to stand against what you say because they don't like you, because they don't believe in you, or because they don't believe what you're trying to say. We can't force our opinions down other people's throats. It's a social media platform. Michael, you were something about why she thinks that I sold out or flip-flopped, or I apologize for not remembering the way that you worded it. Hello, randomly, Ash. Hey, Coco, how are you? Do you serve ice cream here? I wish. I don't. I do not. I wish I could, though. That would be funny. That would be funny. I'll pin a link for anybody that would like to pop up. I have a little bit of time here. And again, there's no hate towards Connie. I really think that if I could give Connie any advice right now, it would be this. I appreciate that she is very passionate about what she believes and how she feels. I'm appreciative of that. I've learned from watching the back and forth. I've learned that it doesn't have to be a constant back and forth, back and forth. I've learned to put my truth out there and back away because I don't want to become what Connie has become. Is that you?
Hey, yeah.
Okay. You put the
How
banner
are
down.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I hate that you're even doing this live stream. But I understand why you are because, okay, we've tried. I've apologized for things that I haven't done, Vilomah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about me because I went like 8 months without fighting back, all right? But at this point, I have heard clips where she's having health issues. I'm having health issues. I found out I had a heart attack, okay?
Oh, no.
So even before finding that out, Vilomah, I I didn't go live for almost 2 weeks. So they couldn't have any reason to be outraged. This was after the first apology. I tried to go in another direction, same as Traders, same as Peach, same as Ghost, and we were still attacked. I apologize again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an angel. People know I'm not an angel, but I'm getting better, right? Like,
Yeah.
I am working on that, and I have been for about 2.5 months. That's not good enough. At
Yeah,
this
I
point,
remember hearing that you had not gone live for a while, that you were kind of taking a break. And
yeah,
I went and looked, and that was true. There was several days in a row that you didn't do a live stream, and I didn't see you on any panels at all. And I remember the conversation that you had on Savage's panel, where you said that you were tired of it. You wanted to do other things, that you wanted to move in a different direction. And then I saw the apology. I saw you apologize on Queen Bee's panel. I saw you ask for peace. You flat out were pleading for peace. And it
yeah.
seems to me like it's Connie wants to issue demands of everybody. So I feel terrible because this live stream is nothing more than I went to her to try to have a conversation with her. She didn't have time that she made that clear. She did not have time. She said it
I saw
8
that.
times.
I
8
saw
times she
that.
did not have time. 20 minutes later, she was on another panel spewing the same stuff. She didn't have time to have conversation with me. Okay, I get that I'm nobody.
Do you remember when she did a live stream asking AB, why didn't you just email me?
Yes, yes.
She never emailed me when she started. Nothing. There was nothing.
She asked me why I didn't email her, and I said because the last time I had an email conversation with her, which was months ago, I was called a liar and accused of taking one for the
Yeah.
team because I said no, that I really did see the same thing. I just didn't know what it meant.
So
So why would I email her?
Vilomah, okay, so her reason for coming after me is over Jimbo from the stand, okay? Jimbo was one of the people that helped call Michigan State University, all right? He was doxing people left and right. He even had Benny's daughter on panel, Rap's exes, like this motherfucker went so real life that he had people up on his panels. He even contacted Maggie's dad, Vilomah.
Wow. Are you serious?
I swear to God, last September he contacted Ryan on Facebook along with Lips and said that Nick and I, well, Frank and I were abusive. His name's Nick. I'm Nick. We're Nick squared. That we were abusing her, neglecting her. Lips made an accusation of sexual abuse. So I started going live in February, March of 2022. I didn't dox a fucking soul until August of 2022 after everything these motherfuckers did. But I'm the bad guy. Connie will not acknowledge any of that. Jimbo called my fucking daughter's cell phone. I think it was July 19th of 2022 because they looked up fucking numbers and names on the internet and they thought that was my daughter's father's number. So that was 2 months before Facebook.
Wow.
My daughter's phone number. I have Jimbo is, and that's what pisses me off because she will not acknowledge all of the shit Jimbo did. She'll say, oh, well, show a receipt. I can show a receipt, Vilomah, and she will say it's not real.
Wow.
Like,
Okay, I heard that. I heard that. So like the clips that are being shared with Squeaky Wheel and stuff now are the same clips that she's been showing over and over and over.
yes,
It's stuff
yes.
from the past. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense now. I couldn't understand why she was pulling them out and reviewing them over and over and over. It's to pound her narrative and
That
because there's new people coming in all the time.
Yeah, pound the narrative that Nicolina docs, but completely ignored what happened before that.
I got you.
She's showing my response to all of it.
May I say something here?
Yeah.
Sure, KK.
I want to say something to everyone. I'm going to say whatever people are doing to you, no matter what, do not let them get to the point that you delete your channel or leave. Well, taking breaks from your channel is good, but don't leave your channel. I deleted over 600 videos because I was getting harassed by some people. I mean, I got blackballed. No one allowed me in their chat.
Okay, but it's not about me at the end of the day. I'm
one
offering to delete because of she also stalks my subscribers. You don't understand.
Okay, I'm not saying that, honey. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Okay, what I'm going to say is I deleted 600. That was all my memory, and I have a disease now that is getting worse and worse. I don't have that there anymore. The best you could do is make it unlisted.
Okay. No, I agree with
Oh,
that, but I guess I'm looking at it from
I think we lost her.
I just,
Go ahead.
I have a lot of very strong women and men that follow me that get attacked for no reason. That's not
Mhm.
okay. They should
I'm seeing
not
it. I'm seeing it.
they should not be attacked just because they are in my chat. That is not okay.
I'm totally seeing it. I mean, after I did that last live, is that you, Angela? I want to make sure.
No, it's not.
Oh, after I did that last stream where I was very respectful, I wasn't disrespectful in any way. I just said, "Hey, man, back off AB's business. You can't run around saying that you are fighting against real life and then you're doing it." And I
Yeah.
had it clipped and all of that stuff. But you should have saw the comments that I didn't allow to be posted, threatening all kinds of crazy stuff against AB, against
Yeah.
me, against the sound, whatever. And there's never been any interaction. Like you and I have never had, we've never had a phone conversation.
Zero.
I go in the chats where I freaking
Zero.
want to go. No one's going to tell me different. If
Most
I
time,
can,
Viloma, most times you don't even talk to me in chat. I'll be like
right.
at Viloma, and you don't even acknowledge me. So these people can fuck off.
Well, I lurk for a long time before I ever chat. Like I lurk
But what
for,
I'm saying is, you and I, you're not honed in on my comments. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah. I'm usually
You miss
listening.
a lot of what I will at you because you and I are not, we don't interact.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm not honed in on a lot of it. To me, it's obsessive. Like, here's one of the comments. Ghost had a good question. How do you differentiate between passion and obsession? That was my question. For me to answer that, I'll tell you obviously clear. For me, I'm very passionate about safe haven baby boxes. I'm not obsessed with it because it's not 24/7, 365,
Right.
constantly all the time. Like I'm passionate about being not an advocate, but being a positive place for parents that are going through the worst experiences of their life, showing them that you can do it, you can get through it. But I'm not obsessed with that because I'm not here every day all the time. I don't stream even on a regular. I don't even have a dedicated day. I just when I feel something, I get on and I stream. I go in the chats. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
obsession is like 24/7, 365 every day all the time, blah 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 blah. You know?
Viloma.
You're right, Michael. I was in Nicolina's chat yesterday. I can
Yeah.
promise you this. You'll see me in Nicolina's chat. You'll see me in Ghost's chat. You'll see me in White Rabbit's chat from time to time. You'll see me in Trader's chat. When all of the crazy stuff starts to happen, when the fighting starts happening, you won't see me in those chats. You'll see me there when all the fun stuff is going on. I'll go where I want to go. I'm here for positivity, for laughter, for fun, for encouragement. I'm setting an example that hatred doesn't have to overtake you. You can dislike who you want to dislike. There's someone on this platform that's been very, very, very ugly, very vile. I've been doxxed out. My whole life has been doxxed out. My son's death obituary has been passed around. People have contacted people in my real life. Like I've had the same stuff happen, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm not doing that. And I'm not going to go that low against other people. I don't give it attention. I've learned from watching some of the other people what they're now going through, and I choose not to do that. So you will see me in all kinds of different people's chats, maybe even on the panel. But that doesn't mean that I'm involved in the things that go on in that community that are negative. I'm big enough to say that when the entire community is doing it back and forth to one another, both sides, I acknowledge that. I can't hold Nicolina accountable or say you're a shitty person when the other side is doing it to her as much as she's giving it back to them.
Okay,
That would
can I say
make me have
something?
chosen sides. Yes, absolutely.
No, let me just say this. I have never gone after anybody's job, no matter how I have felt, because that fucks with the people and like the kids, right? The kids in their family. People that proclaim to rescue kids, advocate for kids, that took an active part in that, I dehumanized them. I did. Absolutely. I went after them, but I never went for their jobs.
I understand that.
Vilomah, no,
And they
but
came after
you,
yours.
yeah, but what I did was after the fact, even before being doxxed, all I did was follow Ernie because he was a scammer, right? I found out some truths along the way that were exposed because I felt they needed to be exposed, and because of that I was terrorized for months and months and months. So okay, I'm gonna end it like this because I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. Connie, I said a month or so ago that if you died I wouldn't care. That was a lie. I am truly worried about your physical health and your mental health because this is far beyond. After putting together my exposure videos, it is deeper than I realized. And this is not an apology to our Constant Sue. I know you're watching. It's time to put it down, walk away, move on.
I agree.
That's it. It's time to move on. I have worked on not being an asshole because I was convicted by myself, not because of your videos. Your videos had nothing to do with it. I knew it was wrong. I try to change and you still do not stop. So I'm done. Starting now, I'm done. Anything that you do, I will be documenting, but it's time to move on. Vilomah, thank you for allowing me to talk up here. I gotta go.
Always. Take care of yourself. I hope she heard that. Yep, she takes care of herself. I don't want to see anybody sick or hurt at all. So I started some of the comments in the back that were questions. She let her chat call crimes in fashion a man multiple times the other night. That shit's not okay. Like misgendering somebody is never okay. That's a very ugly tactic and makes you a very ugly person, in my opinion. We don't allow that stuff over here. Never have, never will. Some people that are very close to me would be hurt by that. I would be hurt by that. Yeah, that's not okay. And I found out firsthand how ugly her chat is. I went for a conversation, was called crazy, all kinds of ugly things, and then blocked for asking for a conversation. So I totally believe that because I experienced it firsthand. Basically, Michael said, you once said you wouldn't interact with people who go real life. And it seems you have flip-flopped with your decision now. I think that's similar to the question. Thank you, Mystical Magnolias, because I did go back, try to find it. So here's what I've learned. I've learned that the majority of the people on the platform have either went on the offense or the defense and done something that they regret. I've learned that it is very hard not to do that, especially when it's been done to you. I'm glad Angelo is here right now because he's been a huge support whenever I want to do that. Whenever people are contacting my biological family, who I have had no relationship with in over a decade, they don't know anything about me. So, I mean, they can't really answer any questions, although they would try because of who they are. I probably have said something like that. I probably did. I probably did say that I wouldn't interact with people who, if that were the case where I'm sitting at today after having a channel for a year. Last week, I believe, was my 1 year anniversary. I can say I would never interact with anybody. I have met people on this platform that used to be real lifers, that used to go real life. That was what they did. And they no longer do that today. Some of the best people that I've met on this platform, some of the people I consider my friends on this platform, have walked away from that and they no longer do that. They don't do that crap anymore. And so when I hear Nicolina on 3 different panels in 1 week asking for peace, not asking to be right, not saying I never did anything wrong, but when I hear her saying, I want peace, how do we do that? Can we agree to disagree, put down the weapons, and walk away from this? And I hear in her voice what I believe to be, she means that. And the other people saying, nope, we're still coming at you. Which side do I hear or see? I don't engage with or interact with real life activity. You will never, ever, ever see or hear me dox or go real life on anybody. I have filed legal documentation against one person because they didn't stop. You'll hear me disengage with people. You'll hear me say I'm not mentioning that name anymore. You'll see people blocked from this space because I can only control me, my actions, my interactions, and I will be responsible for this space that I'm responsible for. Outside of that, I'm sorry if it feels like I flip-flopped or that I have changed from someone that I used to be, but I've learned in the last year that the majority of the people on this platform have engaged or interacted with, sometimes not even knowing till after the fact. But I cannot be held accountable for someone else doing something real life if I'm not participating in it. I may go in Angelo's chat and have a great time. And then 15 minutes later, if he gets mad and starts doxing the shit out of somebody, you'll see me leave the chat because I don't want to participate in that. I have to be very careful with not allowing myself to go back to a dark place filled full of anger and animosity and hurt because I will sit in it. That will become a comfort zone for me like grief was. So I feel like I have the right to change as far as if somebody is trying to do better, why would I push them away? If somebody is standing up and admitting that they've done some not so great things and that they don't want to be that person anymore, it generally takes going to another community or going to another group of people or going to another environment to not be pulled back into those behaviors. So if somebody is trying to do better or be better, I'm for it. I'm cheering them on. I'm also someone that's going to be like, hey, wait a minute. I think maybe you're falling back into old behaviors. I can only protect myself. I can only be accountable and responsible for myself. And I'm sorry if you feel that that's flip-flopping, but I would feel the same way if it were Lee Marie or if it were Lise Levesque, who I've been friends with for a very long time on the platform, longer than anybody else. And if they were kind of falling into terrible behaviors and I witnessed it, I would be like, hey, I really don't want to be a part of that stuff. I've set boundaries and said, please don't bring it here. And everyone has respected that, except Connie. Everyone has respected that. Nobody has brought that here. So I can understand how a year ago I would say something like that, not knowing that 90% of the people on the platform have done what we say is real life. Just last week, the threat to go real life on AB's business fired me up and pissed me off. Am I supposed, I'm not gonna forget that, especially when no one is taking ownership for it. I'm sorry if you or anybody else feels that I'm flip-flopping, but if you see me doxing or going real life, call me out on it. You won't ever see it. I will delete this channel and every account before I ever go there because I know firsthand how dangerous it can be. She didn't see Nicolina from the beginning. I actually saw Nicolina come into the community not doing the things that she's doing. I have been around for way longer before I ever had a channel. And there was a time that Nicolina was not involved in any of the things that she does now. She actually did take a lot of shit before she ever reacted. And so that's why I understand that for me, in order to be mad at Nicolina, how am I not mad at the other side? For me, I choose peace and coexisting in peace and not participating in it. And I feel like I have that right, as does everyone else. Everyone has the right to choose peace. Everyone has the right to coexist and be friendly. Everyone has that right. Everyone has the right to block people that they don't want to be around or talk to. Stellar says, it always amazes me if you choose to be kind and respectful, that can bring down the wrath of others on you for being a peacemaker. Absolutely. Absolutely. As much as I would like to set the example for other parents that are going through the roughest days of their life, that it's okay to lean into the pain and give it the space and the time needed, and to respect it and to understand that it is an obstacle. Don't allow yourself to sit there. Laughing is okay. Finding joy is okay. Finding a purpose is absolutely important to do. I feel like by not going real life, by not doxing, by not putting people, I feel like I can also set that example by not doing it, even in anger, even when I feel like it's justified in defense. I have never, and I will never. That's an agreement that I made with myself, with the people that I've been affiliated with this channel since day one, and I'm going to hold myself to it. Yeah, Stellar, it's sometimes being kind and respectful is not what the people want. They want the shit show. They want the battle. They want the fight, and I choose to not give it to them. Ghost said, that's the reason I came to YouTube streets. Jimbo doxed Peach, and now we have a ghost to deal with. So listen, here's my thing. The first time I raised an eyebrow and side-eyed Connie was when the whole internet is saying that what he did in his past is wrong. And she says, but it was 30 years ago. Shouldn't matter. It kind of does matter, especially when a group of people are saying it shouldn't matter. That's my opinion on that. I choose to not go back and forth with him. I don't know him. I've never been in his chat. I never will be. That's not a place that I want to go and coexist. And so I don't. And I have that right. I'm sorry that you got doxxed. It's wrong. I'm really hoping that we have a better environment coming forward where people are not being doxxed out and everything is left to the platform and bitching about behaviors as opposed to going real life. No one has the right to do that. No one does. I'm really sorry that it happened to you and that it happened to Peach, and it's just not okay. I'll stand against it every time, against everybody. Everybody has the right to coexist here. If you don't like somebody, block them. Like, it really is that simple. Lee Marie says, can you please set, let me pin that. Says, let me scroll up. Can you please set the record straight that I never came to you and asked you to get involved? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, the day that you came into the chat and your name was Evil Lee Marie, I had no idea that you had any affiliation with any. I didn't even know there was a group called the Mean Girls. I really did think that it was kind of a joke. Absolutely no one ever did. I had no opinion until the threat to go real life on AB. That's not okay. I love AB. It's not right. It's not okay. It's bullshit. They can belittle it as much as they want to and say that the threat was never made, but it's been clipped and put out there. It absolutely was made. And it's not okay. It's not okay for anybody. Can't understand her defense of Jimbo at all. Right. He would never go as hard defending her as she does him. I think that she has a problem with being right. She talks a lot about being credible. She talks a lot about people liking her. And I think that there's a need to be correct, which is very dangerous on the platform when you can't just let people disagree with you and still find a way to respect them or to disengage with them. There has to come a time when you just agree to disagree and walk away like adults If not, this is what it turns into. It turns into, if somebody comes here and they're not doing it here, I have a whole group of people demanding that I kick them. I'm not going to do that, especially if they're saying that they're done with that stuff and that they're not choosing that type of engagement anymore. Why would I not support that and encourage that from all sides? You know what I mean? For me, encouragement is big, setting an example. Okay, where did that comment go? Thank you. I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. All the doxing has to stop. The entire family is doxed as well as the username. Yep. I agree with you. Chime in here. Viper, what do you got?
Well, I mean, mine's more simple. Constant Sue is a fart in the wind, and that's about it. Yeah, nothing more, nothing less.
Let me say this real quick. I have many. The reason that your comments keep getting deleted is because I choose to not have an opinion or engage with either side and what they've done to the other side. I'm talking about the battle itself. I'm talking about who's right, who's wrong, who did worse, who went lower. Examples of what has been done in the past are not my business, and I'm not seeking it. That's the same reason that I don't go watch Connie's clips. It's the same reason that I haven't watched any of the other clips, because I don't want to know about the back and forth. What I do know is that Nicolina and her side have been asking on various panels for a period of time for peace. That's what they have been saying. They have been saying, we want peace. And so you can type out as many examples of how you feel they have said or done something against somebody else, and I'm not going to address them because that is not my battle. My battle is I should have the right to say, as long as my boundaries are accepted and respected, I don't have to pick. I'll never pick. I will just delete or block and not allow it in this space. And that has worked for me. So you're typing out examples of who did what to who, and that you don't agree with it. I understand that you don't agree with it. I don't agree with any of it. I'm not a part of any of it. And so I feel like you're asking me to take responsibility or have an opinion when you're not willing to hear that there are two sides to the story. You're two sides to the equation.
I don't see it as asking. I see it as they're telling you. And I'm going to say it this way, a little bit more definitive. Okay. You don't control what Vilomah does in Vilomah's chat. You don't control where Vilomah goes. Vilomah doesn't control where you go, and Vilomah doesn't control what you do in your chat. See, that's the thing about creators and users and watchers and subs. As much as we'd like to think that we have control over what happens on this platform, as much as I'd like to tell people in Bombshell's chat they're a bunch of idiots, that's it. That's all I can do. I can't make them not go in there, just like they can't make people come into our chats. At the end of the day, you are in charge of you. Nobody else. That's it.
Right. Zoots and Boots, I think that your comment was accidentally deleted. I apologize for that. I think I did it when I clicked on the mouse and didn't know where the arrow was at. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I agree. I don't have to pick a side. I'm not picking a side. People came to me with kindness, with respect, understanding that I don't participate in what both sides have been known to do. And so I have nothing but respect and kindness back. It's that simple for me. Is 100% that simple for me. There's tons of communities that do the same thing. And so you can't really hold one person to a standard that you're not willing to hold yourself or the people that you like. You have to hold everybody to the same standard. My standard is, this is the space I'm responsible for. I don't dox here. Nobody doxes here, and nobody's going to make demands or put me in a space I'm not willing to sit in. You will see me in various chats. You'll never see me participating in doxing ever. You'll never see me participating in real life ever. That's a standard that I've set for myself and for those that I allow in my space. That's all I can give you. People can come in here and demand over and over and over. I'm not going to hear, because I'm big enough to understand that this has been happening by all of the people involved on both sides for a very long period of time. I've watched other people in other communities do the same thing, and they don't stop. They don't stop until someone's channels are taken away. They don't stop until someone is physically hurt in their real life. I'm not going to participate in that or allow my mental health or my emotional well-being to be taken to that level. I'm not going to white knight for anybody so hard that I sell out my standards, my convictions, my morals, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I actually went to Connie very respectful in her chat. I figured out firsthand that they're just as hate-filled and right-fighting as what Connie is, and it's concerning. I have respect for Connie. I care about Connie. I would really like for her to take a step back and reevaluate what she spends the majority of her time on this platform doing, because I feel like Connie probably could do a lot of really good things for people that don't involve battling with other people. Not everybody has to choose a side. Not everybody has to pick the battle. Not everybody has to. I mean, I'm not even going to watch clips anymore about either side, because one side wants kind of a fresh start. They want to put down the battle. I'm going to let them do that. They're asking to put down the battle and go in a different direction. I'm going to allow that in my space because they've come to me with kindness and respect. Why would I push that away? Why would I push that away? People just want peace. Hold yourself to the standard you want to see. If it's not okay with the people you dislike, it's not okay for the people you like. Absolutely. I could not agree more. I think that's why people are confused. You won't participate in real life shenanigans, but you will be cool with admitted real lifers. You can understand. I don't understand that because I'm not participating in the real life shenanigans. It's not my crime or my behavior. It's not mine. And I'm not participating in it. Also, you have to understand, Michael, that it's both sides that are doing it. It's not just one side. I could say the same thing to you if you have chosen a side or there's people that you stand with. Are you willing to accept that both sides have done it? That they've all done that? Because they have. They absolutely have done that. And so if you're standing with a side, you're actually participating in it. I'm not participating in any of that. I stood up against the claims, the accusations, and the threats that were made against AB's business because I have mad respect for AB. I have a friendship with AB. I consider him a friend. I care about him, and his business has been a very big help to me personally, and I think it's wrong. So if people are confused, it's because I think they want me to pick a side, and I will not do that. So I'm not participating in real life shenanigans. I'm cool with people that respect my boundaries, that don't pull me into it, and that don't bring it to me. I hope that makes sense.
It does to anyone logical.
It doesn't? I mean, am I saying it correctly?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to anyone logical. Like, look, I think I said this before, and I think you were on the panel when I said it. There are people whose sole purpose on this platform is just to hate and be angry. I mean, if you keep fighting that way, you're going to find yourself slowly moving your line and slowly becoming that thing that you're trying to fight. And it's very difficult to draw yourself back unless you're willing to put your hands down and say, like, you know what? I'm fucking done with it.
I could not agree more. And here's the thing. So let's say in your real life, right? Let's say there's somebody that has done bad things in their past, right? Let's say they've done some really effed up crap and they have a complete turnaround. They no longer want to participate in that. What's the first thing that that psychology tells you to remove yourself from the environment where the triggers are all at that make you want to go and do those terrible things. And so we're taught to encourage people that are trying to step away from bad things to a more positive or good thing. Like, we're told to encourage that. And so why kick people away from you that are stepping away from those bad things that they once did? Like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I see people asking for peace, and I see people asking, they're not even saying I did. This is what freaking gets me, Angelo. They're not saying I never did that shit. Traders popped up on a panel and was like, "You're accusing the wrong person. I did it." You know what I mean? She freaking flat out jumped up on a panel and was like, "Nah, that was me." You know, she's like, "I did it," owns it, admits that it was a little jacked up. You know, that maybe it wasn't the best thing. But these are the people that are like admitting what they've done, not blaming it on other people, not saying that they didn't do it. I mean, isn't the first step to changing something admitting what you have to change? And I hear Nicolina on panels saying, "I want peace. Like, I know I've done some effed up crap. I know I fought fire with fire. I know I've gone low, but I don't want to do that crap anymore." I feel like to say your past is so terrible, I'm not willing to give you a chance, makes me a bad person, especially when they're coming to me with kindness and respect and not bringing it here. That's the first thing. I can't be mean to somebody or be judgmental towards somebody when they're saying, "Yes, I've messed up, but I don't want to be that person. I want to have fun. I want to laugh and have fun." That's my opinion. That's my stance. Connie has made the demands. She said I'm not a good person by letting people in my chat that she doesn't like. Okay, I'm willing to accept that I'm not a good person in Connie's opinion. I'm okay with that. I went to Connie's Deets, Deets with the pineapples. We had a good conversation on Deets' panel the other day. Deets and I both were kind of educated about a whole nother community. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Deets.
Is it the pineapple community?
Yes. You know about this?
I know about the pineapple community. It's a very interesting. There is literally a community for everything. There's that fucking snort. Oh my lord!
Angela knows about the upside down pineapple community.
I mean, I'm a troll. You would expect that I would know something like that.
Oh shit! No, I didn't. I did not know. I had no clue.
There is a flubber community. There is a yarn community. There is a lint community. Did you know that? Lint. They collect belly button lint.
Oh yes. God! Now you're gonna gross me out. Oh,
there's a community for everything.
Deeds and I agreed that the next time we go to the grocery store to get groceries, neither one of us are gonna put an upside down pineapple in the cart.
Oh yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, we were educated. Who was it that came in the chat? Nonsense, I think, came in the chat. You should have seen. I'm glad I was not on camera. I don't talk about those kind of things ever. Not with friends, nobody. But I was like, it was like a train wreck, you know, like you can't look away. And then the glare popped up, and he knew about this lifestyle stuff, and I was like, my face was 10 shades of red. I have no doubt. My armpits were sweaty. I had to go take a shower after that because I was highly embarrassed just talking about this stuff. But yeah, there's a whole community. And Dietz is, I think, working on an interview because curiosity kills the cat, right? What the hell? I'm encouraging her to do so anyway.
For those interested, let's just say there are more things to do with pineapples than just to eat them.
Oh, stop. No.
I'll just leave it there.
No. Yes,
I'll leave it there.
exactly what Star said. Go where people appreciate you. Don't bother with the others. Absolutely. We appreciate you here. You're always welcome here.
So
100%.
like I don't follow Nicolina, too closely. I mean, I've heard of her, I've seen her in a few chats, I've been on a couple of panels. She's I don't think she's any worse than what any of the other stuff that's been going on in this community. In fact, I think she's tame compared to what some of the levels of people are willing to go into this community. So, like, as for Constance, considering a lot of the things she supported, I'm going to stand by my previous statement that I made about 3 or 4 days ago. If you're not willing to hold everybody equally accountable, friend or foe, then you have no right to hold anybody accountable. You cannot make change on this platform unless you're willing to hold everybody equally to the same standards. That goes for no matter what side, what community. I don't care. If you can't hold everybody equally accountable, you are not of a place to hold anybody accountable. Period.
Yeah.
And secondly, try to come and tell me who the fuck I can have on my panels or in my chats, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work out well for you.
I mean, isn't that the consensus with most adults on the platform, that if somebody is telling you, like, you can't be friends with that person, or you can't have somebody on that panel, or you can't have somebody in that chat, like, most people are going to rebel against that just for the simple fact that they don't appreciate being told what to do, where to go. You know what I mean? Most people.
Yeah, who the hell are you to tell me who I can and I can't? Who are you?
Yeah,
there's people in my life that matter. Okay, no matter even what the friends I have on this platform, there's a core group of people that matter. My wife, my sons, my daughter, my grandchildren. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That is it. That's the opinions that matter to me outside of this whole world. So, good luck with whatever the hell you're doing, Constance, because like I said, you're nothing more than just a fart in the wind. Hell, most of us are pretty much just farts in the wind. So we're nobody's on this platform. We don't have tens of millions of subs. I don't care if you have 100K subs. You're nobody on this platform unless you're in the millions. So if you think you can go around dictating to people who they can be friends with, who they can forgive, who they can't forgive, you're in the wrong market. You're not going to make it here. Because automatically, first of all, your opinion has never mattered to me because you're a horrible person. And you have not shown any demonstrable change. Where I could say from what I've seen of Nicolina, there has been change. Even Flava, who I don't necessarily like, has shown demonstrable change, which is far more than somebody like Constance has done, or Bombshell has done, or The Stand has done. So she has my respect and my admiration for that, and she's showing me that she's changed, which is a good thing, because you can forgive people all day long, but that trust key, that's a hard thing to earn back, and you have to demonstrate that you're worthy of it, because that's I'm in that same position. I did shit back in my younger days on YouTube, and I'm still working to earn trust of some people back. I have never really apologized for much, because to me, apologies on the internet are like assholes. Everybody's got one. And they really don't mean anything on the platform, because you do have to show through demonstration that you're a better person.
Exactly.
However, the one thing I'll say that's different from me than you, and I'll be honest about it because that's who I am, there are some people I'll cross the lines for and do things that I'm not proud of, because I feel that the danger they present to the community is far greater than anything I could do. And that's pedophiles and child abusers.
Mm-hmm.
I will go all the way to the Santa, the Maria, and the Pinta. I'll go all the way through your ancestry, all the way back to the day that you were a Crowman. I don't care, because you pose an immediate threat and risk to this community. There's women on here with their families and children. There's men on here with their families and children. And I don't want your kind anywhere near any of these people, friend or foe. If you're an enemy of mine and you have kids, I will protect you from pedophiles and child abusers, because that is the reason why I'm alive. I'm alive to defend the people. So there are some things I will cross the line for. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to deny it. And I stand by that. It's not a good thing. I hate myself for it, but it's an evil I have to partake in order to protect people. So that's where I'm at. And I don't want people to participate with me if that's something they stand against, because I don't want you compromising who you are.
Yeah. Did you get why I clipped that video? Because I really want that message to be heard. The reason I clipped that was because I went into her chat not really expecting to be welcomed with open arms, right? Because I just had said, like, hey, that's not cool to go after somebody's business. Whether I like them or not, it's not cool to do. And so it started off with mentioning that because I'm a grieving mother, I should side with her, who is in her opinion defending grieving parents. And then when I said, hey man, I can only control me, and I've set boundaries, and if people are accepting of those boundaries, I'm not going to tell them that they're not welcome in the space I'm responsible for. And then it became another attempt at using child loss and grief as a way to make me sway to seeing things the way that she wanted me to see them. There was 3 attempts at that, actually, 3 of them that I clipped. And then when I still said, it's never happened on my channel. I've heard them ask for peace. And so I'm okay with that. As long as it's not done in my space, I can't control it. I'm not going to be responsible for it. And at the end of the day, if I'm willing to give people second chances that have directly came at me, doxed me, spread around Cody's obituary, done some things that have been pretty hurtful, if they've apologized and I'm willing to share space with them, why would I not people that have never come directly at me? What I'm seeing is that both sides have done this for so long, but grief should never be used and child loss should never be used, thrown in my face as a method of manipulation, like saying, because you've experienced it or because you're living it, you're automatically supposed to side with people who are having similar experiences. To me, it kind of proves the depths that she's willing to go in order to be right, in order to have the majority agree with her.
You ready for my answer?
Yes.
My answer is this. Just because you help people with loss and have experienced loss yourself doesn't mean that you automatically have to side with everybody that's experienced loss if they're going and doing things that are against the morals that you stand for. Just like people against child abuse and child molestation don't have to side with me when I cross lines to go after a child molester or a child abuser, just because I happen to be a survivor of child abuse and child molestation. And again, a third option is this: just because you have a mental illness or a disability doesn't preclude you from facing consequences for actions just because you happen to be disabled or you have some sort of mental illness. See, that's the thing. People think that you have to treat people differently because of this or that. No, you hold people equally across the line. If you don't go real life, I'm going to tell you right now, don't watch my stream with Earth today, because I didn't go real life, but somebody did, and they got evidence that proves beyond a doubt that a child molester that admitted to child molesting kids at 16, 17, 18 really did do these things and never got caught, never paid a penance, and never had crimes against them for it. And that's a horrible thing to feel. But his very own sister was contacted by one of this person's former co-workers after his name was doxed out. And that person had a conversation with this person's sister, and this person's sister confirmed that they did indeed catch their brother doing these things, and they were never held accountable for it. Because I don't know if you guys know, in most families, when you're abusing family members, most families 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they swept those things under the rug. They didn't deal with them. Mm-hmm. And this person's on this platform. He is re-victimizing victims. He constantly harasses children. He constantly does disgusting streams, bathtub streams. He constantly refers to 12-year-olds as fully developed and mature. He, in his mind, thinks that this kind of relationship is okay. And no, oddly enough, I'm not talking about the stand. This is a horrible person. And as a person that survived sexual assault and sexual rape, and I call it rape, I hate when people call child molestation against 7-year-olds molestation. It's rape. When you're penetrated, it's rape. I don't give two fucks what the psychologists call it. I have never, ever received justice. So I will be damned if I leave kids voiceless, and I will cross lines. So if it's something you're standing against, don't compromise your morals for me, because it's not right either. But I'm doing what I feel is right, and it's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, and I get it. I get it, but I have to do this because this person is dangerous. So those are my examples.
I agree.
I'm not doing it on my channel. I'm doing it on Earth's channel for those who didn't know. So that way you're prepared. If you're coming in, please be prepared. I'm going to be showing a stream of a person that contacted a person's sister on Facebook and had a conversation and confirmed the accusations being made against this person. So I apologize in advance.
No, you're fine. I'm glad that you said that. I'll be able to look out for it. For sure.
Hello.
Hey, Wee Frosty.
I have no
God,
peener to show you. I have zero peener. Zero.
No peeners.
No, sorry. I'll try better for next time. Hi, everybody. Hey.
What's up, Ewok?
Hey. How you doing, Angelo?
I'll let you know in about an hour.
Excellent, excellent. It sounds like there's a message to be delivered, and I'll be there for it.
There is a message. This is a horrible person, and Vilomah knows where I stand with these kind of people. They're horrible people. They steal innocence. They steal innocence.
Yep, they ruin lives, ruin them. On that topic, we see a lot of people ruining their own lives on YouTube on a daily basis, and I'm no different to anybody else there. I've dabbled in it myself, and then you're like, nah, this isn't so good. This isn't going to go well for anybody after this. I know that most people won't agree with me, but I do think Connie has a good heart. Her delivery, like my own, is selective to people. You know, you either like it or you hate it. So I can understand, like all of us, how that can rub somebody else the wrong way. Where she is now, though, is a sad place to see, because I do still have love for her. I had to unsubscribe, cancel my membership, because there had to be a limit for me as well. And unfortunately, I have seen Connie change. I've seen Connie take part in things that she would never have done before. And that is very sad, because now it's full of rage and anger rather than just passion. We all can be passionate about our own, personal subjects, but there's a difference whenever it becomes very personal towards people rather than, as Vilomah would say, the behaviors. I think that is problematic. And Constance, if you never want to hear anything I have to say again, please hear me now. I do wish nothing but the best for you. I'm unlike a lot of other people. It doesn't mean I have to go straight to the people that they dislike in order to gain favor. I have a wee bit more of a backbone than that. But Constance, I worry about you now, and I worry about the people that you're fighting with also, and the people that you're fighting for. I hope that at some point you hear that where Vilomah is coming from today is not a place of anger directly, but it's more things are getting lost in the sauce here.
Definitely.
And I'm very concerned. Please, Constance, you're going to have to reevaluate, rebalance, find yourself again. You've become so enmeshed in the fight for some very questionable people that you're becoming the same as they are. It's time
That's my
to
fear.
save yourself.
Wise words.
How do we get that conveyed? How do we convey that without
your-
being accused of being supportive of
Through your
anybody?
actions, holding
Mhm.
yourself accountable for the things you say you'll hold yourself accountable for. There's nothing more you can do, Vilomah. There's nothing more you. Let's try it this way. Ewok, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You said you unsubbed Connie.
Yeah.
Did Vilomah tell you to unsub Connie?
No, we've never talked about this. I tend to only talk about things like this when I come up on panel. I own my words.
Did anybody tell you to unsub Connie?
No one.
So you
No
made
one.
a conscious decision on your own for your own reasons, which you
Yep.
probably just stated, to unsub, but you still let me make sure I get this. You still care about her, and you still think she has a good heart.
I do. Yep.
And did I say anything negative about that?
No. No
Did
one has
Vilomah say
any.
anything? No.
No.
Why? You're allowed to feel, contrary to what people think on this platform, how you feel. That's you. I have nothing against that. It's not going to change how I feel, but I'm not going to begrudge you because of how you feel about somebody. I think that that's what makes you I mean, quite frankly, it makes you a better person than me. You see something I don't see because I'm upset and angry at the things that I have seen that person do. And that's on me, not you. Just like what you do is on you. At the end of the day, nobody's told you to do anything. You've done it on your own. And that's the problem with some creators and some watchers on this platform is they're unable to do that because they're so angry that they can't be objective and look at things from the outside. And sometimes that takes pausing yourself, taking a step back and looking from the outside in and saying, what am I missing? Because when you're so involved and you're so into the community, you can often be lost with blinders and you will find yourself, as I've said, crossing lines you normally wouldn't cross.
Yep.
I've been guilty of that myself. I'm probably going to do it tonight because, like I said, I do not like monsters, horrible people. This person's far worse than Constance.
Yeah.
Constance is not a concern for me because she's not big enough or has enough support to be a danger to the community, let's say. She supports some people that are, as does our side. Our side supports some people that aren't exactly the nicest people in the world. I get it. It's hard to find that medium in ground where the two sides aren't willing to say, look, we need to stop doing this and we need to move forward because it's not working. If Nicolene is choosing to do that and people are willing to give her that chance, that's a fair thing to do, but we can't make the other side do the same thing. So Nicolena has to stick to her position of I'm not participating anymore. It's going to be a tough battle, but she's a strong woman. I've seen her. I've heard her. I think she can do it. It's going to be hard because everybody that dislikes her is going to test the limits of her patience. Because without fire, without drama, without controversy on this platform, what is left for some of these creators? Yeah. Nothing. They create nothing. So I commend you for how you feel about Constance. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think that's an example for other people to follow, including myself.
God help us all.
It's
Run,
something I have to learn. It's something I have to learn.
So I put a poll up. The first one was, is it okay for one creator to make demands of another's chatter panel? I think that's obvious. But the answer was no. The majority said no. The second poll that I put up says, I asked the question, do you want to see the back and forth between Connie and Nick stop? 84% said yes. There's 16% that say no, probably the trolls, because I think everybody wants it to stop. And the last question that I'm going to ask is, Do we have the right as people to choose peace, meaning to not take a side? Do we have the right to say we don't want to participate? Meaning we have the ability to control only ourselves and we're responsible for only ourselves, and that we do. Is it okay for each person to say, I choose to not engage in the back and forth that goes on? I can peacefully coexist with people by establishing boundaries, and those boundaries being accepted.
I think you can choose peace and still have your beliefs as well. I don't
Mhm.
think that means you have to change your position. I don't think it means you have to accept who they are, just their right to be who they are. There's a lot of people I dislike, and there's people who hate me down to my stupid laugh and my little furry icon. They hate everything that I will ever do. I'm not going to change that. I know I'm not going to change that.
Right. Me either. Like I can
Whoa.
coexist with
Whoa.
people and I can be friends
Wait.
with people without engaging in negativity or supporting that. That's my stance.
How the hell can you hate an Ewok? What
Oh,
the hell's wrong with people?
it's very easily done, Angelo.
Those
There's a whole group of
bastards
people
don't
that
know
don't
what
like
they're doing.
Trader says, Nicolina is my very best friend. I've always seen the very best in her. I've also seen how much she's changed, and it's changing me for the better today. She stopped me from doing something. I love her. I can understand that. I mean, I see that Nicolina is asking for peace. When every panel I've seen her on, which I'm sure I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen her repeatedly plead for peace. I've seen her say, I want peace. Can we call a truce? Can we continue in peace? Can we not do this back and forth? I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. And what I hear, the reply back to her that I hear every single time is, you don't want peace. I'm documenting everything that you do and putting it out there, blah, blah. It's a yes or no answer. Like, everyone knows who I don't like on this platform. Everyone knows who came into my real life and who affected me in a negative way and really put me through hell for a year. I choose to coexist in peace. When I realized that it's constant back and forth, that I'm not, first off, I'm not a monetized channel. Second off, I'm not trying to build a channel. The right people find themselves coming here for the right reasons. That's my whole goal, to be a positive place for people that are going through really, really hard shit. And so by me going back and forth, I'm giving the other person content on a daily basis. They are monetized. They are using everything that is said in anger to make themselves a victim. They make money off of it. They run with it. They make it worse. I just decided it's not worth that for me. It's not worth that for me. I choose mental health, emotional well-being, and laughter and joy. And if that person doesn't bring it to me, well, I don't have to engage with them. As far as Nicolina, Traders, the Mean Girls, they have been nothing but kind, respectful. They understand that I don't participate in some of the things that entire community does. I also don't disrespect them by saying, you've done this and this and this, and act like the other side is innocent. I say all of them do it, and I just choose not to. And I have literally, listen, I'll tell y'all something. I had a phone conversation with Traders for like an hour. My boundaries were made very clear. I feel like I know who Traders is as a person. I have a lot of respect for them. I still said, everybody does some fucked up shit. That whole community does it. I'm willing to say all of them do it. And I don't stand for either side of it. To me, it's like saying one person is responsible for all of the bad and the other side are the victims of the bad doing. That's not the case. I don't see it that way. I never will. Especially after seeing how easily A little bit of criticism turned into threats of real life on someone I care about as much as I care about AB. So for
But I
me,
think on that point, on that wee, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. On that wee
no, you're fine.
point, though, I think that's where partly Constance and her method of communication gets lost. I can see how her perception of people, either that she has respect for, misunderstanding, or not seeing the thing that she thinks she is showing to them, and she assumes that should tell the whole story. When it doesn't happen, there's a frustration there. And I watched that with AB. I don't have quite the same perception as you do, but I know until very recently, Connie had a lot of love for AB, respect rather for AB, and AB had for Connie.
Mhm.
And then from something very simple, it got all turned sideways. And after that, rather than taking it as we all get hurt, and I think some people display their hurt very differently, and I think maybe that's doesn't mean I'm saying give her extra leeway. That's not what I'm saying. I just think I've watched it with the ship, yourself, Queen Bee, uh, uh, several other people, really. Whenever Connie isn't getting quite the answer of I agree, they're terrible people, there's a miscommunication that happens there. And then she assumes, well, then you must agree with them, then, if that's the case. Or because you say hello to them, that you're their best friend. And
Right.
I'm not asking Connie to do something I wouldn't do myself. It's very clear. You go
Yeah.
to my channel, you'll see what the content that's on it. I've had to take that step myself, where I've realized that the only way I'm going to take myself is down.
Yeah.
And
And on
that's
that
not a
will,
healthy space. It's not.
it's not. And for the record, AB's called me out on a couple of things. Like he and I do not agree on everything. And we don't. There's a couple of things that we are on polar opposite sides of the entire situation. But I still have so much respect for him as a person. I understand why he feels the way that he does. He has been nothing but kind to me. You know what I mean? Like I understand that he probably hurt Connie's feelings. She said herself, I played it my last stream in a clip. He might be
Yep.
coming at her a little sideways today, but in a couple of days, he's over it. Like he does
Yep.
the same thing a lot of people do. He calls out what he believes to be bad behavior. He's called me out before. I still very much adore him. I support him. I'm in his chats whenever I have the time to be on YouTube. I was like that with Connie. The difference with Connie is AB and I can agree to disagree and walk away from a conversation and he doesn't lose respect for me. Connie blatantly told me that if I don't meet her demands, she looks at me differently. She questions me as a person. And then she came back at me with more excuses of child loss and grief and that I should just automatically believe the way that she and these other people do. But here's my thing. That's not my experience with the people that she doesn't like. So like I don't know if maybe they approached each other the wrong way. I don't know what started it. It's not my business. I choose to not know. I don't want to know. Please don't put it in the chat because I'm not going to read it.
No.
When somebody is telling me that they're done with it, that they don't want that anymore, I'm going to give them that respect. If I mess up, and I have messed up. I have absolutely messed up. I've made mistakes. I'm going to make more mistakes. I'm human. But if I own that and I say I made that mistake, that was wrong of me, and I apologize, which apologizing comes with changing the behavior, admitting the mistake, changing the behavior, I would want people to give me another chance. So one side is standing up saying, yes, we've done all of this stuff. They may feel justified in why they did it. They admit to doing it. The other side is like, no, I never did that. One side is saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to move in a different direction. They have a strong group of very independently strong women that are encouraging that. How do I not support that when they're absolutely accepting my boundaries? I would have expected the behavior out of Connie to come from the other side, to be honest with you, because Connie and I have had email conversations before. You know what I mean? I was on her panel a time or two. I was a moderator on her channel. She was on mine. I would have expected what Connie lashed out at me with to come from the other side, who I knew nobody. I didn't know any of them. I didn't know a single one of them. I'd never had a conversation with any of them. They have been nothing but kind to me. You know what they don't do? They don't throw up child loss. They don't try to manipulate my emotions. They don't try to relate themselves to me to better their situation. They don't use my space as a weapon or a place to go back and forth at the other side. They didn't do that. Connie came in the chat going crazy. She came in the chat yelling at Nicolina, who was on the panel having a conversation with me about baby boxes. So to me, that's changed behavior. To me, that's an apology that was made by the mean girls. That's changed behavior, because all I hear is Nicolina pleading for peace.
But there's no
She's
need
not
to
even
plead. Do it.
right.
Do it.
Right.
If you mean you want peace, you don't need to wait for the other side to disengage. You disengage. If peace is what is intended, then putting up little pictures or going back and forth in videos and then saying equally on a different panel that you want peace, the two don't jive. And I think that's where there is a disconnect also. If you want peace, make it for yourself. You can't make it for anybody else. You just choose to stop the fight on your side. They're going to do what they're going to do. They were
Exactly.
doing it anyway.
I got to head off, but I just wanted to end.
I'll be over there shortly.
Just so she hears, Nicolina, so far I haven't seen anything of your old side in the last few days. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about what other people think. And as much as this sounds disconnected, don't worry about your subs. Your subs are big grown-up adults. They can take care of themselves. If they need to check out, they can check out. But you don't need to check out to protect your subs, because you got people who are watching who will make sure that your subs are safe. Guarantee that. All right.
Thank you for that.
Much love for everybody. Have a great night.
I'll see you shortly.
And thank you very much as well, Vilomah, for letting me come up. I know
At
that
any time.
I deliberately didn't want to do a whole live of my own trying to explain why I felt the way I do. Because it's not hate and it's not recommendation for anybody. It's not. We're all human. We all mess up. We all do things. But I think there's a time at which you have to realize if this is starting to affect your life in various ways that are off YouTube, something is going sideways. We might not be able to stop the other people doing what they're doing, but you can protect yourself a bit. It doesn't mean you become perfect. It doesn't mean I'm saying I know what I'm doing any better. Just choose to have a better life for yourself by not engaging in the crazy for yourself.
Absolutely. I appreciate your perspective always. I love it whenever you pop up and give your opinion. I always respect it. You always give me something else to think about when it comes to topics like this, especially when it's kind of hard to even talk about without, I don't want it to come off like I'm picking sides or anything like that.
No,
so
I know you're not. I know.
I always appreciate it. I respect those that come to me with respect, especially when they're saying we don't want to do this anymore. Like they're saying that, I'm celebrating that. I'm in celebration of people. I've made a shit ton of mistakes. I'm gonna make more. I know this. And so if I would want people to give me a chance, how would I not do that? You know what I mean? I don't understand. The other side of that, though, is that making demands of other people are never it's never going to work. You know what I mean? It's never going to work. You can't demand other people just fall in line with, with your ideology or with your opinions, or you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that.
Those who don't want to listen will not listen. You're not going to be able to force them to listen. You can't waterboard them with information and go, there, you see. Lord knows if we could do that, we'd be doing it 24/7. We've all had our own wee go at it, and it doesn't work because the people who don't want to hear it, they're not going to hear it.
Yeah. I want to
So
show you
just
one thing
put your
before
point
you
out
drop down.
and run away.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for. Hey, Tinks, welcome. I want to show you this. So the Mean Girls donated their the profits from their proceeds from their merch shop, from their merchandise.
Yeah.
I'm so for I mean, I just cannot even tell you how passionate I am about this and how much I respect and appreciate what they're doing. But I want them to see how it matters. For the Mean Girls that are still here, I want you to understand how much I appreciate the donation. This is a tiny itty bitty baby girl. Is this the baby girl? Oh, crap. Yes, this is the baby girl that was just surrendered 3-4 weeks ago in the state of Indiana, that is now being adopted into a very loving family. Yes, a full head of hair. This photo was shared with me. I think it hit the news last week. I've been holding on to this. I was making a video to say thank you. Nicolina said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And then I have an update on baby Zoe, who was one of the first babies 5 years ago that was adopted. That was legally and safely abandoned. That was adopted by the firefighter and firefighter's wife. This firefighter was on duty, the first to hold baby Zoe. Let me pull this photo up. I really wanted to make a video. Nicolina said, no, save it. This is what we want to do. And I respect that so much. But I want you to see where your money goes and why I'm so passionate about this. This is baby Zoe, who's also adopted. This is the firefighter that was on duty and the first to hold baby Zoe when she first was surrendered legally and safely. And this is a photo that Monica shared around, I think she was 5 months in this picture. I'll have to double check. I'll have to ask and double check.
The wee pebbles ponytail of it all. So cute.
Super cute, super happy, super loved. And then let me pull one more up to show you. They're called Safe Haven Baby Boxes. Sleuth Mom and I are going to be talking about, we're given some updates over the next couple of days when we get some of the links and stuff put together. This is one of the new, this is going to be in some of the new literature that's being put out the end of 2023 and 2024. I added this on the bottom, but a firefighter holding an infant. But I want you to know how valued and appreciated your donations are, and that they are truly going to a good cause, and how much I appreciate that. That's a heck of a sacrifice, and that what you're doing is amazing. It means the world.
That's an amazing thing.
I talked to Monica earlier today. I'm trying to get, as soon as her schedule is less hectic, she's going to come on and do an interview and kind of update and talk more about safe haven laws that have been a lot more supportive of protecting parents that are surrendering, and then the process for adoption. Right, Lee? I'm not crying. You're crying. So, I see the behaviors changing. It's not just a matter of saying, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, look what they're doing. And that's not why I allow people in my chat. If I set boundaries and people accept them, why would I not? I had a phone call with Traders for an hour. She's not the same person. I have a lot of respect for Traders. Tater's is not just funny, okay? She's not just hilarious. She's a very kind person. I think if we approach people with respect and kindness, that we're more likely to get that in return. And if not, then we just walk away from it. So,
Yep.
Lise wants me to show her artwork here real quick, which I'm always happy to do. Is it the first one, Lise? The first photo? Right, Catlin?
What is there not to love about people who can not only provide a space for those who are unwanted or cannot be managed by other people? Our world is full of those people. It's one of the benefits we do have in the UK, but even that comes at a price. Everything comes with a price.
Right.
Nothing is perfect. That there should be a way. The whole reason our health system came into being was because people were suffering, and people still suffer today, even though we have it. So nothing, again, nothing's perfect, but it's a start. Better there, better in the arms of a firefighter than any of the number of places where they could end up.
Right.
I had to rescue the words there because that was, yeah. And on that semi-positive but unfortunate note, because there's bigger things for us all to be doing. Thank you very much, Vilomah. Thank you very much, everybody. And Connie,
I appreciate you coming up.
I didn't say any of this with anger in my heart for you. I want better for you than whatever is happening now. That's what I want.
Yeah, peace for her too, not just for everybody. Peace. Peaceful coexistence.
And it still doesn't mean you have to like him. You just, you can still say a thing without, I don't know. If I find out a perfect way to do that, I'll write a book. I'll send you all the link. You can make me a fortune on Amazon. It'll be amazing. Until then, I'll still be a mess myself. So good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Thank you for popping in.
Bye. Thank you.
I got it, Lisa. I just found it. Okay, that's funny. And I got that message too, Lee. Hand drawn. Yes, I got that. Okay. Yep, let me screen share it. Hey, Devious, I hope you're feeling better. Getting there. I heard it's a nasty one. I heard that pneumonia comes with it and that it takes forever to get rid of. Okay, Lise. How do you want me to say this? Tell me how you want me to say it. You want people to pick who it is or to try to guess who it is? Okay, Lise hand drew. This is hand drawn. Her hand drawn art. She says, ask chat to guess who it is. Okay. So you won't see it on her channel yet. Hey, Holly Dolly. Hey, Pendar. Okay, here we go. Who is it? Put your guesses in the chat. Yeah, Devious, I heard it's really bad. The best you can do is stay hydrated and eat whenever you can keep it down. I hope you have Gatorade. And I hope it passes very quickly because it's ugly. Words of wisdom from our we. Yes, I love we. Okay, Lee Marie says JSB. Ocean Tide says JSB. Deet says Jody Sue. Sweet Tea says Jody Sue. Pendar says MGL. Yes, it is Jody Sue Brown. And here's the photo that Lise used to sketch it from. Can I show that? Yeah, because it's edited. So there's, let's see if I can do a side by side. I can. Check this out. I can do a side by side. Looks like Earth is live and so is Ghost for those looking. Okay, let me hide the back screen and I'll do a complete side by side. She's been on one. Who has? Hey, Tater. Entire screen, right monitor. Boom. That's really good, Lise. Yeah, that is really good. That is really good. Lisa's really good at artwork, for sure. Let me put this. Where did it go? Logos. Turn that off. Yeah. You did really good with that. You see it now? Yep. She shit talks nonstop. I think I heard AB talking about that the other day. Yeah, her drawings are super amazing. Let me show you another one that she did for me on Cody's birthday last year. Oh, that's not a good way to show it because it goes into a circle. Let me put it back up. I use that as a logo sometimes. Papuchki. Where'd it go? She did the logo art of Cody last year for his birthday, and I absolutely love it. I would turn my camera on and show you that I have it printed. Let me pull it up from here. Yeah, she did really good on it. Lisa's amazing. Her art is absolutely amazing. And listen, hand drawn. She's not kidding. She hand drew that. Let's see. Show more. Let me pull it out quick. This is one of my favorite memorial pieces that have been sent. Photos. I think it's an E. Oh, here it is. Boom. Boom. This is like, I'll tell you why this is one of my favorite photos of him. Because it is absolutely him in all forms. It is all things Cody. And I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. This is doing all the things that I'm here for it. Yeah. Thanks, Laura. Back to drawing in real life, right? Yeah, I'm here for it. We dropped her link in the chat. We can do it again for mod readers. It's exclamation sign followed by Lise. Wonderful. Thank you. He's a handsome boy. My one and only baby. All right. Well, hey, guys, Earth is live right now. Let me drop the link for that. Hold on. I'm going to drop a couple links for you. First link is going to go directly over to Earth's live stream right now. And then I did see that Ghost was live also. Let me grab his link for those that are going to go over there. So you don't have to, it says, I got bored. So the second one will be to Ghost. Is anyone else live right now? We can drop links. Traders, are you going to be live later? If so, drop your link. We'll grab all those. He does look like me, doesn't he? He looks just like me. I love it. Let's see. You're on your other channel, right, traders? The Dr. Vance channel, which I just found out about. Because, you know, I'm not stalking you. Like they say. Hey, Paige Noel. I know I said hey to you earlier. Are you going live later? Anybody going live? We'll drop links so people can find them. PG, you guys going? Ghost and Earth. I dropped both of those. Anybody else? Your Sasquatch material. Okay, that last link goes to Trader's second channel, Dr. Vance. And listen, remember in the links below, in the description below, you will find Constance's channel, the video I clipped everything from, Nicolina's channel, because that's the fair thing to do, AB's channel, because I adore him, step-by-step exploring videos at gmail.com for his world famous moisturizing pain balm, can of cookies, seeds, lip balms. Hit him up by email. I think it's easier to do. I also linked an article to how we established the word Vilomah. The Mean Girls merch shop, which is on my Shopify. And the merch shop is titled Seriously Badass Women, which I absolutely love. How to donate to the Safe Haven baby boxes, including their EIN number, because they are a 501c3. And then other ways to support the Safe Haven baby box. I want to read this to you because I want this to be absolutely clear. You should never be asked to send donations to any person or to use any means of donating outside of the options available on the safehavenbabybox.org, shbb.org/donate webpage. All donations should be made directly from donor to organization using one of the methods on the Safe Haven Baby Box donation website. At no time have I or will I accept any dollar amount, transaction, or any donation of any amount on behalf of someone else, or request donations be sent in my name or someone else's name. There are no personal or professional payment methods offered, used, or available for accepting donations, holding donations, or sending other people's donations, including but not limited to Cash Apps, PayPals, Venmos, money or wired money transfers, direct deposits, or any and all other third-party money applications, websites, personal or business accounts, or financial institutions. Not one person or any group of people have been authorized to accept any form of money or donation on behalf of myself or anyone affiliated with this channel. Any and all content, past, present, or future, all donations should be made directly from donor to organization only and always by utilizing the shbb.org/donate website. Thank you. I want that to be clear. I will not ever take donations on behalf of anyone else. So if you find it in your heart that you want to be supportive of a really good organization, please consider Safe Haven baby boxes. There'll be more coming out on that. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Please know that this is not in any hate, aggravation, or anything of the sort. I just wanted my message to be heard. So I appreciate each and every one of you. All of you going through rough things right now, remember to be kind to yourself and that you do matter and that you do have a place in the world. We love having you here. It's been awesome. Have a great night.